Hello everyone, today we will be covering the topic that is radiation physics. Coming to the introduction, what is radiation? Radiation is defined as an emission and propagation of energy through space or substance in the form of waves or particles. So we will be dealing certain topics under the following heading, that is composition of matter, nature of radiation, the X-ray machine, the production of X-rays, the factors which control the X-ray beam and the interaction of X-ray with the matter. Coming to the history, Sir William Morgan was the first man to produce X-ray. William Conrad Roentgen, he was the discoverer of X-ray in 1895. Edmund Kells, he was the father of dental radiography, and Professor Wilhelm Koenig and Dr. Oho Wackhoff was the first to made first dental radiograph, and H.R. Rapper was he first put one dental text. Coming to the composition of matter. Matter is anything that occupies space and has inertia. So it has three states: solid, liquid and gases, and can be divided into elements and compounds. So the fundamental unit of matter is atoms. So any atom is actually the fundamental unit of elements and cannot be divided by ordinary chemical methods, but can be broken down into smaller subatomic particles by special high energy technique. So this is the model of an atom, which consists of nucleus. With periphery it has electrons. What is ionization? Ionization is the process when the number of orbiting electrons in an atom is equal to the number of the protons in the nucleus. The atom is electrically neutral. If an electrically neutral atom loses an electron, it becomes a positive ion, and free electrons becomes a negative ion. So the process of forming these ion pairs is called as ionization. Coming to the nature of radiation. What is radiation? Radiation is the transfer of energy through space or matter, and it occurs in two forms. One is particulate form and the second one is electromagnetic form. So particulate radiation consists of atomic nuclei or subatomic particles which moves at high velocity. For example, alpha particle, beta particle and cathode rays. And electromagnetic radiation is the movement of energy through space as a combination of electric and magnetic fields. It is generated when the velocity of electrically charged particle is altered. The examples are gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, visible rays and infrared radiation. To express the properties of electromagnetic radiation, we have two theories. One is wave theory and second one is quantum theory. Coming to the third one, that is the X-ray machine. So the heart of X-ray machine is the X-ray tube and its power supply. So X-ray tube is also known as Coolidge tubes. So this is the basic diagram explaining the X-ray tube, which basically consists of cathode, that is negatively charged, and anode, which is positively charged. So it consists of a cathode. Cathode consists of filament and electron cloud, and then there will be anode. Coming to the parts of X-ray tube. Cathode consists of filament and focusing cup. Filament is actually nothing but tungsten wire about 2 mm in diameter and around 1 cm or less in length. The focusing cup is negatively charged concave reflector. As you can see in this diagram, it is a negatively charged concave reflector so as to repel the electrons from it, made up of molybdenum. Coming to the anode. Anode is made up of tungsten. The reason is the tungsten has high atomic number, that is around 74, high melting point, that is around 3422 degrees Celsius, and it has high thermal conductivity and low vapor pressure. So there are two types of anode. One is stationary anode and one is rotating anode. Rotating anode keep on rotating and stationary anode will be stationary, matlab it will be static. Coming to the focal spot. Focal spot is the area on the anode or the target to which the focusing cup directs the electron from the filament. Coming to the power supply. Primary function of power supply are to provide a low voltage current to heat the X-ray tube filament by use of step down transformer, and to generate a high potential difference between anode and cathode by use of high voltage transformer. The second one is tube current. Tube current is the flow of the electron through the tube, that is from the filament to the anode and then back to the filament through the wiring of the power supply. A tube voltage, a high voltage is basically required between the anode and cathode to generate the X-rays. An auto transformer converts the primary voltage from input source into secondary voltage. Secondary voltage is regulated by kilovoltage peaks. A timer is built into high voltage circuit to control the duration of X-ray exposure. The tube rating is the maximal exposure time the tube can be energized without the risk of damage to the target from overheating, and the duty cycle is defined as the frequency with which the successive exposures can be made. Coming to the production of the X-rays, the electron traveling from the filament to the target converts some of their kinetic energy into the X-ray photons by the formation of Bremsstrahlung, that is breaking effect, and characteristic radiation. Coming to the Bremsstrahlung radiation, it is a radiation which is produced by the direct hit of electrons on the nucleus in the target or by the passage of the electron near the nucleus, which results in electron being deflected and decelerated. So, the electron will be deflected and decelerated, that means the path of the electron will be altered, and there will be generation of photons of lower energy, that is called as Bremsstrahlung radiation. If there is a direct hit, then there will be the formation of photons of maximal energy, and if only the path of the electron is altered, that is the near miss phenomenon, then the photons of lower energy will be generated. Coming to the characteristic radiation. Characteristic radiation, in this, an incident electron in an inner orbit ejects a photoelectron which creates a vacancy, and this vacancy is filled by an electron from the outer orbit. A photon is emitted with the energy equal to the difference in the energy level between the two orbits. So, electrons from various orbits may be involved, giving rise to other photons. So, the energy of these photons thus created, it is the characteristic of the target atom, that is the generation of characteristic radiation. Coming to the factors controlling the X-ray beam. First one is the exposure time, which controls the quantity of the exposure, that is the number of the photons generated. Second one is the tube current. It also controls the quantity of radiation produced. The quantity of radiation produced is expressed as the product of time and the tube current. Third is tube voltage, which affects the quality. The increase in the kVp basically increases the potential difference between cathode and anode, thus increases the energy of each electron, hence it affects the quality of the radiation produced. This increases the efficiency of conversion of electron energy into X-ray photons, hence causes an increase in the number of the photons generated, their mean energy as well as their maximal energy. Coming to the filtration. Filtration is the process to remove the low energy photons which contributes to patient exposure and do not reach the film. So, there are certain inherent filtration method which are there in the tube itself. It is due to glass wall of the X-ray tube, the insulating oil that surrounds many dental tubes, and the barrier material thus prevents the oil from escaping through the X-ray port. It is equivalent to 0.50 to 2 mm of aluminium. The second one filtration is external filtration. It is in the form of aluminium disc placed over the port in the head of the X-ray machine. So, the total filtration will be the sum of inherent filtration plus external filtration. So, it will be around 1.5 mm of aluminium on 70 kVp or 2.5 millimeter of aluminium for higher voltages. Next phenomenon is which affect the X-ray beam is collimation. What is collimation? So, collimation is the uses of collimators, which are nothing but the metallic barriers with an aperture in the middle, which used to reduce the size of the X-ray beam. So, generally round and rectangular collimators are most frequently used, and dental X-ray beam is collimated to a circle of 2 3/4, that is 7 cm in diameter. Use of collimators basically improves the image quality. The next factor is inverse square law. The beam intensity is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the source, that is I1 by I2 is equals to D2 by D1 ka square. Coming to the various interaction of the X-rays with the matter. So, there are three means of beam attenuation. First one is coherent scattering, इसको elastic scattering भी बोलते हैं, classical scattering भी बोलते हैं और Thomson scattering भी बोलते हैं, and these interactions accounts only about 8%. So, what is coherent scattering? In the coherent scattering, it basically results from the interaction of a low energy incident photon with an outer electron, causing the outer electron to vibrate momentarily. After this, a scattered photon of the same energy is emitted at a different angle from the path of the incident photon. So, which basically creates coherent scatter. As we can see in this diagram, the interaction of a low energy incident photon with an outer electron is there, which causes the vibration of that particular atom momentarily. After this, a scattered photon of the same energy is emitted but at a different angle. The second one type of scatter is photoelectric absorption, which accounts for 30% of the photons which absorb from the dental X-ray beam are absorbed by the photoelectric beam. In this type of absorption, it occurs when an incident photon gives up all its energy to an inner electron ejected from the atom, that is a photoelectron, as we can appreciate in the first figure. So, it will lead to generation of an electron vacancy in the inner orbit, resulting in the ionization of that particular atom, and the electron from a higher energy level fills the vacancy and it emits the characteristic radiation. So, all the orbits are subsequently filled, completing the energy exchange. The third type of scattering is competence scattering, which accounts around 62% of the photons are absorbed from the dental X-ray beam by this process. In this, it occurs when an incident photon interacts with an outer electron, which produces a scattered photon of the lower energy, then the incident photon, and a recoil electron ejected from the target atom, which is responsible for competence scatter. So, this is all, guys, about radiation physics. Thank you so much.